If you ask someone, how tall are you? And they say 175, what do you say to them? You say 175 what? And then they might reply 175 centimeters, which corresponds to about 5 feet 10 inches in the US. How about what's the temperature outside? And someone says 35 degrees. And then you say 35 degrees what? And then they'll say 35 degrees Celsius, which corresponds to 95 degrees Fahrenheit in the US, and so on and so forth. How fast does a rabbit run? Someone says 10. So 10 what? 10 meters per second, maybe. And so units are very important, and almost every quantity or number you come across will have units associated with it. And so in this video, we are going to learn about units and converting these units from one to another. So there are different unit systems, as we already talked about. So there's this metric system, which measures length in meters, mass in kilograms, and time in seconds. It's also called the MKS system or the SI units. There's a CGS system that measures distance in centimeters, mass in grams, and time in seconds. There's also the FPS, the imperial system, the foot-pound second system, which measures length and distances in feet and equivalent, mass in pounds, and time in seconds, which is typically what is used in the US, and the rest of the world uses the metric system. So let's learn about what these systems are and how we use them. So the fundamental or base quantities are time, length, and mass. And so in the SI units, the units for length is meter, the unit for time is second, and the unit for mass is the kilogram. There are some other quantities like electric current measured in amperes, temperature in Kelvin, the amount of substance in mole, and the luminous intensity in candela. But we will mainly focus on the first three, the fundamental quantities: length, mass, and time. There's another concept associated with these. So anything measured in the units of length, be it, for example, in meters, centimeters, feet, yards, miles, kilometers, has a dimension of length, which is denoted by L. Anything measured in units of mass, like kilograms or grams, has dimensions of M. Anything measured in units of time has a dimension T. So measured in seconds or hours, for example, will have the dimension of time, which is T. So these are the fundamental quantities, and all other quantities can be derived in terms of these base quantities. For example, velocity is the distance traveled in a certain amount of time, so the units will be meters per second in the SI system. So these are called derived quantities, and as we go along, we will learn a lot of these derived quantities. All right, so let's look at prefixes in the SI units. So one nice thing about the metric system, which is measuring things in the SI units, is that you can put a prefix in front of the unit to change the unit by a factor of 10. So in this case, for example, you have a meter, the unit of length or distance. And now if you want to use a kilometer, which has the symbol K, and a kilometer will correspond to 10 to the 3. So 1 kilometer will be 10 to the 3 meters. Similarly, you can use any of the other ones. What is a nanometer? A nano, indicated by little n, is 10 to the negative 9. So 1 nanometer is 10 to the negative 9 meters. And so on and so forth.